Hello, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Monday night at 8 o'clock. Can't believe how dark it is out. It seems like it is so dark out there. I'm checking to see if we're live. It says we are. All right. If you can see and hear, please let me know. All right, it says I'm live anyway. All right, so tonight I want to share a couple cards that I had people make during our Christmas card class on Friday. They were two fun ideas that I really hadn't done before. I thought it would be fun to share with you. So I am going to move this just a little bit here. Trying to figure out why it's not showing up, but it says people are watching, so I'm going to trust that it's on. All right, sorry guys. When I first started watching videos, I never could figure out why people kind of hem-hawed around at the beginning, but now I get it. There we go. Finally showed up on my computer. And that looks a little fuzzy tonight. Huh. Okay, here we go. So the first card I want to show you tonight is something that I saw a sample online and I just thought it was really cool. So we're using the hybrid die folder. And what's neat about these hybrids is it will emboss and cut out at the same time. So you take this, you lay the emboss or the cutting piece. I was just using it, so now I probably won't be able to find it. Here it is. I'll show you how this works. So this die will go in here and you will lay it so it lines up. That's always the trickiest part for me, is getting it to line up. There we go. And there's kind of a notch there, so you know right where it's supposed to go. There we go, like that. So as you run it through with your paper, and I have some paper, here we go. So you'll take your paper and lay it on there like that, close it up, and run it through your die cut machine, just like that. When you're done, you end up with this. It's cut out. All right, this is looking really weird tonight. Okay, there we go. So it's cut out and embossed all at the same time. Well, this looks really nice on a card. Grab a piece of paper here. So, you know, you could do it like that. But if you do that, it seems to take up the whole card. And I saw this idea online and I thought it was really cool. So simple, one of those things where when you see it, you go, huh, wonder why I didn't think of that. So I've measured this and it's basically 4 inches. So half of 4 is 2. So I'm going to line up these. I like this other side better, it gives you a better straight edge. So I'm going to take it like that, cut it in half. And that's the big trick. Ooh and ah, aren't you crazy about that? Look at that. So now when I put it together, I have a much smaller rectangle. Now I did take scissors and kind of clean this up a little bit so it didn't look so much like I cut it in half. You can kind of clean it up just a little bit. That. This side looks pretty good. Hope you're having a good week. I am a little in shock how close we're getting to Christmas. All right, so if we line it up like that, now you have a beautiful image, but it's half the size. So to make the card just a little bit different, what I did was I made my 5.5 by 8.5, scored it at 4 1/4 like we always do, but then I cut 1 inch off the front. So I had a little spot here in the front. Use my bone folder. that. All right. I grabbed the Wintry 3D embossing folders and I embossed some white that now I can't find. Hang on. I was ready a few minutes early today, which doesn't happen very often, as you well know. And so I was working on some Christmas cards. And now I've put stuff away that shouldn't have been put away. So this is the ferns. I used that one today, or you can use for the first ones that I did the wintry mix, which is, I think, very similar to the ferns, but the wintry mix is the smaller. I want to show you, I can't find it. There, it's this size folder, so it's only about 3 inches, but the fern's pretty similar. All right, so I'm going to layer that on the top here. And once again, I always grab a glue bottle that's just about empty. I guess I can say I'm consistent, right? All right, you do need to add a little bit more than you would normally on a just regular piece of cardstock because you have all that embossing. So you want to make sure the rising cardstock is attached well. All right. Then I've got my 2 pieces here and I'm going to line them up. You can see there's that stitched rectangle in the middle. I'm going to line those up so it makes a nice rectangle. This glue bottle worked great before I went online and started this. I'm going to back it off just a little bit so you can see the top of the rectangle there. And then you can decide which side you like, top, bottom, like that. I kind of like this top part here. So I took a rectangle that was in the rectangle dies. I can't believe I lost all these pieces. All right, let's see if I can find them. That's what I get for trying to do too many things at once, right? Well, so anyway, I've got a small rectangle here. I'm not going to have you keep waiting on me. I'll just show you because I want to show you 2 card designs tonight. So I cut this small rectangle, stamped Peace to You at Christmas, which is from the Nativity stamp set this year. And I really, really like that. Added some little berries from the Merriest Moments stamp set. And then I colored the pearls with the blend. I think you've seen me do this many times. If you've been coming to class, you know that's my most common technique now, I think. So you just take your blend, color those. You do want to let them dry just a little bit so you don't get red on your fingers. And then you can see I placed them here. And then I added the little ribbon bow. So that's, oh, and then I also grabbed, as soon as I stop all this, I'm going to find all those pieces. Well, I'll just show you. I decided to do the soft succulent on the inside, and I stamped the leaves down here in soft succulent. It's what we call tone on tone. Here it is. Tone on tone. Added a stamped greeting from the Hope and Peace stamp set. Really like that. It's got some beautiful sayings. If you're a Christian, there's some great greetings in that one. I hope all of you have taken the opportunity to look at the last chance list. Everything's while supplies last, and at class Friday night, I already had to tell some people that things that they wanted were sold out, which I hate to do. But something they had wanted was already sold out. So I unfortunately can't do anything about that. So if you're looking there, especially if you like designer series paper, some of those designer series papers are I think $4.60, $4.80 like that, instead of $11 or $12, a really, really, really good deal. And there's a lot of dies that are on clearance. Some of them are up to 60% off. All right, so I'm going to glue this here. Again, I'm using tear tape. so that it sticks really well. Line it up like that. And there you've got the basis of your card. And again, I just added that greeting. I even stamped it ahead of time. And now I can't find it. But that's this card. So I just thought that was a fun twist to take an embossing folder and the large embossing folder and make it something a little bit smaller. All right. I have a stamp set that I've had now for almost a year and a half that I've not used very much. So I'm forcing myself. Oh, here's a piece to you, is that nativity set I was telling you about that has the piece to you at Christmas. All right, Christmas season. I am not a big pine cone leaves type person, but I decided I should give it a try because I bought the stamp set. So here's my paper. It is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to have a lot of layers. I'm going to start with the pine cone. And I'm not going to show you the card until I'm done. So we're going to, oh, I got to get my mat underneath there. All right. Start with the pine cone. I'm going to put 2 on here because the pine cones are a little on the large side and I don't want them to take up too much space. All right. And I already got extra ink where I didn't want it. And some of you will laugh because I'm always telling you, gentle, gentle, you're pushing too hard. And now you just saw me do the same thing. All right, let's try again. So this is the outside of the pine cone. So I'm stamping it in a lighter color. Then I used crumb cake. Now I'm going to use soft suede for the inside of the pine cone. I like how it's two-tone, gives it some depth, kind of into that depth thing. All right, now I'm going to use a mixture of greens. I've got garden green, shaded spruce, and old olive. They're all out of the Regals collection. And I'm looking at my leaves and I want to use the larger leaves first. So as you can see, there's some pretty good sized ones in here. I think this fits nice underneath the pine cone. So I'm going to do it like that and then turn it around and like that. Then there's this longer one. I'm going to do it in old olive. The first one I think I told you was garden green. All right. So I don't want all my leaves going the same way. So we'll do it like that. And that. Then I have, where'd it go? It's the same one I used on. Here he is. All right, I'm going to do this one with the shaded spruce because to me it kind of looks like the pine needles on a Christmas tree, and I like shaded spruce for Christmas trees. Now this is hard for me because I don't like layers all the time. I'm one of these, I always tell, Kent and I are talking, I always say I'm a plain Jane. Make it simple. I don't like a lot of layers, but I'm trying to do that on this. So you guys will have to let me know how successful I am. Now this is a 2-step and I want to add some color. So this has red berries. I'm going to add some. I don't understand why the Facebook Live is so fuzzy. Is it looking fuzzy to you guys? Maybe it's just on my camera here. I hope it's clear. Lois, Diana, Deb, thank you guys for watching. Hoping this looks all right. I get to stamp it and I forget that I need to check my screen. All right. So I'm adding, oh, that didn't stamp very good. All right. So I'm adding in my berries here. What's nice with the polymer is that I can go back over this and add a little more. There we go. And then I did pull out in the set, there's just these little dots. And I thought it was just kind of fun to add a little bit more red to it. like that. And the reason I'm showing you this technique is because I'm going to expand upon it for my class on Friday this week, my techniques and fun folds. All right, so you see that. Then what I did was I took a strip and stamped. All right, I've learned my lesson. I'm never going to work on other projects when I'm supposed to be getting ready for a Facebook Live. All right, so the first thing I did after I got stamped was I grabbed the Fern embossing folder again. And I don't know if you can see this, but it adds some really fun texture to it. See how it's got some more depth to it? I'm really into that depth thing right now. So ran it through with that same embossing folder as before. Then I used another greeting from that Hope and Peace, God's blessing to you. And I'm going to put it right over the middle. Doesn't that look nice with all the different leaves and everything? I think that really makes it, just reminds me of a Christmas wreath or greenery or swag where they've added all kinds of colors into a live arrangement. So I'm taking this same idea for our technique on Friday, and we are going to make 4 cards out of stamping one time. We're going to, I couldn't find a really cool name for it, so I'm calling it four panels, I think is what I called it. And I'll show you what we're going to do. My 4 o'clock class is full, but I do have space in the 7 o'clock class, if any of you can make it to that. All right, so there's that layer. And then we're going to add my card base. I'm using cherry cobbler for my base, which you kind of figured out with my banner. And it's going to look just like that. Isn't that pretty? I did use the champagne dots. So that's my idea. Now let me show you what I did with it for my technique class. Here's what I stamped. Again, it's that same idea, just mixing in all the leaves and everything that I just did. And by doing that, we made these cards. So we'll make these cards on Friday. So you can kind of look and you go, oh, that one was there. That one was there. And this one I turned around, it was there. Oh, yep, like that. And then I did the same thing with that one. So we're going to make 4 cards out of that. And I think it'll be really fun. I've got a couple tips to help them to make it easier. We are also going to make 2 other cards. Let me show you those. This one here is a fun fold. I did the fun fold for my live a couple weeks ago, but I had so much fun with it, I wanted to turn it into a Christmas. And then I got to use the flowers from that Merriest Moments because I hadn't used it all Christmas season. And then I'm going to let them play with the technique I did a few weeks ago with the clear block. All right, well, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you're having an awesome Christmas season. You're enjoying time with friends and family. And let's see, where's my other one? Again, don't forget about the clearance rack. Oh, goodness. Well, I can't find it, so we'll leave this one here for now. Have a wonderful week. I will see you next Monday night at 8 o'clock. Have a great day. Thanks to those of you that joined me live.